Hi everyone. My name is Clodagh Drummy and I am the chair of the Walpole Cultural Council. Thank you all for joining us today and for your participation and support of Walpole Writes. Walpole Writes is a writing contest that is organized by the Walpole Cultural Council. The Walpole Cultural Council is one of 329 local cultural councils across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We receive funding from the Massachusetts Cultural Council to give out grants to local artists and nonprofits that organize arts programs each year. We also support events that promote the arts and culture in Walpole. This year, along with Be Inclusive, we sponsored Holy and organized the Walpole Writes Writing Contest, which is why we are all here today. The Walpole Cultural Council, is a committee that is run by volunteers that live in Walpole. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the members of the Walpole Cultural Council that put this event today and do so much to enhance the cultural vitality in our town. Rob Bird. Rob, raise your hand. Liz Connolly. Sarah McCracken, Karen Lasine, Carrie Pittman, Shalini Satish, and Shweta Singh. Thank you guys. And now on to Walpole Writes, what brings us all here. Walpole Writes began in 2021 and is a town-wide writing contest open to all Walpole residents and students who attend Walpole Public Schools, or Walpole schools. Writers of all ages, from elementary school to adults, can submit entries in two categories: poems and short stories. This year, we received more than 60 entries in the contest, which is really wonderful. The contest has really grown over the last few years. I'd like to invite Carrie Denizio and Bill Buckley, two school committee members who are strong supporters of the arts, to come up and join us as we recognize the winners and participants of this year's contest. A fun fact about Carrie was on the Walpole Cultural Council and had the idea of starting Walpole Writes, so it's really special to have her here today.
Thank you, Clodagh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is so wonderful to see so many writers and supporters of writers in the room. We will go through the winning entries, starting with elementary school poem, moving through the age ranges, then we'll do short stories. Please, if I mispronounce your name, please correct me when you come up here, and I will say it correctly into the microphone for posterity, because there's nothing worse than having your name mispronounced at an event like this. Okay, we ready? All right, so we'll start with elementary school poems. In third place for What is Sky Blue, Amira Sharma. In second place for Dandy the Lion, Julia Miller.
Congratulations.
I should have clarified. First stop when you come up here is to see Mr. Buckley, and he'll give you your certificate, and then you can get your swag from Miss McCracken. And in first place in elementary school poems for orchestra, Miles Stebbings. One more thing. Swag is the best part. You can't leave that behind. So those were our winners in the kindergarten through second grade division. Now for the third through fifth grade division for elementary school poem. In third place, collaborative effort basketball by Stella Norman and Arna Sharma. Arna's not here. We're gonna send our congratulations out into the universe for Arna. In second place for Baby Yoda, Viraj Singh. Viraj couldn't be present with us tonight, so here to accept the award on his behalf is his dad. Yay! And in first place for the Four Seasons, Colin Jeffries. I don't see Colin here either. We'll make sure that he gets his award. Okay, now on to the middle school poem category. In third place for Ode to Tucker, Zoe Trotta. Congratulations. In second place for Dear Thornton, Abby Simpson. Congratulations, Abby. And in first place for Flame of the Sky, Sanaya Hora. On to our high school poem award winners. In third place for A Journal of Our Vegas and Arizona Trip, Swara Shanchatra. In second place for Shadows Beyond the Court, Nirjara Akol. Nirjara's mother. Nice to meet you. Congratulations. And while you're up here, we will award you Nirjara's first place prize for the Spice Box Symphony. Okay, and finally in the poem category for adults, in third place we have a tie for Redundancy, Mike Connolly, and for Matriarch, Cheryl Campbell. Cheryl Campbell also received second place for Efficient in Address. It looks like she's not here with us tonight. And in first place for September Dream, Kathleen Lutz. Our short story winners in the kindergarten through second grade age bracket. In third place for The Adventures of the Fluffy Tails, Raisa Malin. In second place for The Creepy Doll, Samir Goyal. Samir. And in first place for All About Disney World, Bryce Mackey. On to our third through fifth graders. In third place for MCAS, Sahana Pandey. In second place, we have a tie for The True Story of Little Red Riding Hood, Lillian Clifford, and for A Unicorn Special and Unique, Shania Sanchatra. And in first place for Bubble Adventures, Donvi Vinod. Moving on to middle school short story. Third place, another tie For My Story, Angela Joji, and for A Hidden World, Layla Antonetti. Congratulations. In second place for Spy Mission, Adhav Jagan. And in first place for The Test, Madeline Smith. In high school short story, we just have one first place winner for Blue Hydrangea, Maria Alejandra Quinones. Congratulations. Last but not least, in the adult short story category, third place goes to Guys Like You by Kent Finkel. Congratulations. Second place is another tie. Cheryl Campbell for The Power of a Head Bob, and for The Secret Staircase, Lik Fun Chando. And first place for Between Beauty and Excerpt, Michelle Marisi. Congratulations. Congratulations to all our winners.
I just want to comment on behalf of the entire Cultural Council on how wonderful it was to have the opportunity to judge the writing that was submitted this year. We had a really remarkable group of entries to choose from, really high quality writing. It was difficult for us to make decisions, and you can see we wound up with a lot of ties this year, which is new for us. So you should all feel really proud of your work. I hope you all feel really proud of your work. I'm going to invite Karen up to the mic. She's going to introduce some of our first place winners who will be reading some of their work.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. It's great to see such a wonderful turnout. So we'd like to invite some of our first place winners who volunteered to read their work to us. For first place in middle school poem, we have Sanaya Hora reading Flame of the Sky. And it's also okay if anyone's changed their mind and does not want to read. There you go.
In the Ides of October, on a crisp fall day, where the air grows colder and the colored leaves sway, I was named Sanaya, the name that means love, or glory, or fame, or maybe all of the above. But that isn't me, it's not who I am. I'm a prolific thinker, not something so bland. These words that had tried to describe me had failed, and I felt like I was drowning slowly in quicksand. Then, a whisper, a shout, a voice calling my name, and like rain after a drought, I saw in the dark a burning flame. Between kicks and punches, broken boards, push-ups and crunches, my mind grew with my muscle. I was told many stories about the black belts of the past. Neil and his ninja star, Irene's every year till her last. But one stood out, the one he only told when we asked. A student once trained here a long, long time ago, and she worked hard for her black belt, but when the day came with the final snow, my teacher laughs, remembering the scene, and leans in, telling us more. After years and years, the student tells me, that's not how you pronounce my name, walking out the door. My instructor told us to remember our names. They make us who we are. Stand up for them and fight for them, he says. Each one is a shining star. A blaze of fire then filled me up, and in that moment my world shifted. A path had cleared through the fog, and a new meaning for my name I was gifted. Sun like sun, and I like coming. The sunrise is a part of me, the start of every morning. And all around the world begins. A new day, a new way. Everything is resurrected. Like the sunrise, I am here, for every day and every trial, for every triumph and failure, every admitted mistake and every denial. I stay here, I stay strong, and even when I'm wrong, even when the light fades or the final ray is set, when I get cut up by reality's blades, or when I fall down, you can bet, the darkness will weave and light will win, for the sun always finds a way. I will get up again and again and again, and I'll do this every single day. I will endure, I will try until I succeed, and in the first rays of morning, you'll surely see that I will rise to every challenge that comes my way, and nothing on earth can stop me. No barrier in existence can get in my way. I am the very soul of a revolution breaking free. I will get up, no matter what. There's nothing you can do. Because here's one thing, one truth that's always going to be true. I am Sanaya, I am the sunrise, I am the eternal fire of the hearth, I am the flame of the sky.
And then our adult short story winner, Michelle Morrissey. Did you want to read your excerpt for us? Sure.
All right, so this is an excerpt from a novel that I started and never finished, called Between Beauty. The Irish Sea was a hungry thing. Nisa didn't blame him for being lured into it. For much of her life, she would have to resist the same call. But for him, the sea was exotic. For her, it was familiar. It was home. For much of her life, she would not be able to decide which was more fearful, the familiar or the unknown. But that didn't matter in this moment. What mattered was a teenage boy had fallen prey to the storm-struck water. Like her, he was alone. She'd strayed from her family's usual territory, as she did every chance she had to visit this shore. It was her favorite, the one where slopes of grass gave way to sand and then to sea, where humans like to balance on oblong boards and coast across the edge of ocean waves. Sea riders, she called them. The difference between her and the boy was she knew how to swim. Her body was designed for it. Sleek and compact, she was a gray torpedo in the water. He was a disarray of limbs, clad in the slick black the sea riders wore like a second pair of skin. His long, narrow arms and legs bent and flailed in the water. Such odd bodies, her kind, the Ronta often observed. But Nisa admired them. They may not have been able to swim well, but they could swim and stand and sit and run and move in ways she never could on land. They could reach towards the sea with one hand, the shore with another, one foot planted in water and one on land all at once. How badly she wanted that. Underwater, she caught sight of him, tumbling head over heels, arms reaching blindly, then lost him. She swam well below the surface, as far away as she could from the roiling waves. As if on a hunt, she shuttled forward. In many ways, this mission was no different from catching fish, the single-minded focus, the determination of her movement, the powerful urge forward. Only the end goal was different. She got another glimpse, limp arms and legs. He was sinking, not far above her. This was it, time for the catch. Calling upon her reserves, she rocketed towards him. Even with her skill, it would take everything she had to contend with the tumult above. If anyone had asked her why, on that night, Nisa was compelled to risk her own life to save him, this stranger, this foolish boy. She would not have known how to reply. Then again, humans couldn't resist a heroic story. For all their murder and massacre, all their careless casualty making, most wouldn't question the instinct to save another's life. She broke the water's surface. The boy was draped over her back. He gasped air, a single ragged gulp, before a wave broke over them. Nisa dove deep again, and the boy had the sense to cling to her. She thrust them shoreward. Slender as he was, his weight still bore her down. She knew humans' breath ran out underwater much more quickly than her own, and he was already losing his grip on her. Yet there was a cold stone of fear in the pit of her stomach that had nothing to do with either of their survival. The fear was this: what would her family say if they knew? They would be furious. She was risking her life for the ones who were destroying the earth, risking the discovery of the Ronta. She understood the consequences, and she didn't like them either. But she didn't care. As long as she could remember, she'd been fascinated by humans. She wanted to be among them, to watch them. No, to be one of them. The desire was knit stitch for stitch with shame, so interwoven it was difficult sometimes to recognize. Even then, with the boy's life literally weighing on her, she was aware of the shameful longing. In fact, it was more potent now, a high, aching note in her ear. She was touching a human. He slipped away from her. Immediately, she turned back, but the current had already dragged him out of reach. Once, Nisa had seen a small child carried out of the sea, limp in a way no child ever should have been. Only moments before, she'd seen him stumble into the ocean. Just like that, his life was gone. It shocked her. How could it be that these humans, these kings of the earth, were so fragile? They could last underwater no longer than the fish she hunted could survive on land. She shot through the water now, doubling her speed. Once she'd almost closed the distance between her and the boy, she plunged low, dropping below him again. Using the momentum of her descent, she fired back up and caught him on her back again. With the boy slumped over her, she punched through the ocean's surface. Above them, rain fell in dark sheets, but she could make out the shore. It was so terribly, unreachably close. He was slipping again. If only she had a way to grip. He fell. She dove. And as she did the oddest thing. She reached for him, as if she would find arms extending from her body, as if she would find hands, as if, only from intending it, she could curl 8 jointed fingers and 2 opposable thumbs around his arms and kick the 2 of them to shore. Kick with legs. And the oddest thing happened. She did. She dove after the boy, and she reached for him. And as she did, she shed herself. There wasn't a moment to consider what this meant, how this was possible, only that it needed to happen. She wanted it to happen, and it did. Her thick seal skin slowed off, shriveling to a thin silvery layer, not unlike the boy's black suit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if we have any other first place winners who wanted to read their story and we missed calling your name, feel free to come up. This is Dan V. Venudes reading Bubble Adventures. Dan V, I apologize. There you
Bubble Adventures. Once upon a time, in a place called Bubbleville, there lived a dragon named Bubble Belly. But there's a twist. Bubble Belly is not like any ordinary dragon you see in comics. He's special because he can blow Oops, I almost said it. Wait, first I'm gonna give you a chance to guess why he's special. He is so special because instead of him breathing fire, he blows bubbles. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let me get to the point. Yesterday, when I was taking a walk in my neighborhood, which is in Bubbleville, I felt a drop on my cheek and looked up to see if it was raining. You know what I saw? I saw Bubble Belly flying above my head, and he was making it rain bubbles for the whole town. Everyone was jumping around in the bubbles and having lots of fun. This was a surprise visit of Bubble Belly to my neighborhood. After a while, I came back home still impressed with what I saw outside. That night, I had the bubbliest dream. Next day, just like any other regular day, I got up and got ready for school. While getting ready, I was searching for my shoes, but I soon realized I left them outside after my walk yesterday because it was muddy. I opened the door to get my shoes and wear them for school, but to my surprise, once I opened the door, so many bubbles came storming into my house. I almost fell down as the bubbles pushed me so hard. With so much effort and force, I had to close the door. I quickly ran to the window to take a peek outside. I saw only bubbles and nothing else. I was bubble blind. After a few minutes, I got a call from the school, informing that the school is closed until they can fix the bubble situation. I asked the reason behind the bubble storm. They said, last night Bubble Belly had a heavy dinner, and because of that he blew extra bubbles in the morning. That made the whole town flood. Now when anybody opens their doors, they will see bubbles everywhere. And I had already figured out the last part. I was so happy and surprised at the same time. At that moment, I just wanted to figure out a solution so I can get back to school. Right then, an idea popped up in my mind. If I could get everyone in the town to pop the bubbles, then the bubble flood problem would come to an end. And that's exactly what I did. The next day, I started my bubble bursting mission, in which first I went outside and popped a narrow lane of bubbles to my neighbor's house. I asked my neighbors to come along and pop bubbles together. There were 5 people in the family, so now we were an army of 6 people. We all went to the next house and called for their help too. Now we were an army of 10 soldiers marching to the next house. This way we built up a huge army and popped all the bubbles in town. As we were popping the bubbles, we saw a big bubble rolling down the hill towards us like a snowball. We had to dodge it to be safe, but it almost touched my house and it turned around and started heading our way, which made us run quickly. While I was running, I saw a bubble to my left shining so bright it hurt my eyes. But that's not it. The bubbles started following me wherever I went. I was so confused. I thought, a bubble ball is coming after me, and now, at the same time, a shiny bubble is following me wherever I go. But here's the good part. Somebody, or should I say an animal, saved me. It was Bubble Belly. He picked me up and my neighbors off the ground by the shirt like we were pieces of his daily vitamins. So he dropped off everybody back to their house. But there's one thing I noticed. Bubble Belly was not blowing extra bubbles anymore. In fact, he sucked up all the bubbles and made them into a big heart. Now everything was seen outside, and we all lived happily ever after, especially Bubble Belly.
And if we had any other first place winners who want to read? Oh, okay. We've got Bryce Mackey, who's going to read us all about Disney World. Here you go. Stand up here, wherever you want. Stand up here.
All About Disney World by Bryce Mackey. Table of Contents. 1. How to get there. 2. Get to a hotel. 3. A bus. 4. Parks. 5. Rides in Epcot. 6. Rides in Animal Kingdom. 7. Rides in Hollywood. 8. Rides in Magic Kingdom. Introduction. Have you ever heard of Disney? If you haven't, this book is about it. Chapter 1. How to get there. How do you get there if you are really, really far? You will take a plane for 3 hours. They will give you snacks. They will give you drinks and snacks. Stay with your mom and dad. You can also take a car. You can bring a lot of snacks. Don't bring your dog. Get a neighbor to watch your dog. Chapter 2. Hotels. There's a really good hotel. It's called the Animal Kingdom Lodge. It has animals like zebras, giraffes, and more. You can get a wooden animal at the store. There is a pool with 2 water slides. There is a little one and a big slide. The big slide, you go up to the stairs and more and more. Have fun. You have to take a bus to get there. Animal Kingdom is 15 minutes long. Magic Kingdom is 5 minutes. Some buses have stairs to get to a seat. Chapter 3. Parks. One of the 4 parks is the Magic Kingdom. Lots of people like this one. Tron and Thunder Mountain are popular rides. It has a big castle. Epcot has a big globe. You go into it and it has a ride inside. You go back in time, you see the moon. The ride Ratatouille is a new ride. Animal Kingdom is another park. There is Avatar. The wait is about 400 minutes because it is very popular. Hollywood Studio is the latest park there. It has really new rides. There are a few. One ride is the Tower of Terror. Chapter 4. Epcot rides. One new ride is called Frozen. Pick your seat wisely because you might get very wet. It's when the snow monster comes out. Another ride is the land. You see how fruit and vegetables go. You go in the water, you do not get wet. Another ride is Nemo. You watch how the real movie is in parts. After you see some real animals and a playground that you can go on. Another is Moana. It is not a ride. You walk, you can get a little wet. One last ride is Soarin'. For Soarin', you go high. You could see the bird. Chapter 5. Animal Kingdom rides. One Animal Kingdom ride is Avatar. The wait can be up to 3 or 4 hours long. You sit in a seat, you put goggles on for it. It looks like you get hit, but you don't. There are decorations outside and music. Another is the safari. You see hippos, elephants, giraffes, lions, and hyenas, and more. You see lots of animals on this ship. There is a driver too. Another is dinosaur. You go back in time and have to see a dinosaur. A T-Rex tries to get you. You have to make it in a minute. The last ride is called Mount Everest. You go so high. Chapter 6. Hollywood Studio rides. A ride is called Slinky. It is new. You slingshot back, you go really high, you control also. Chapter 7. Magic Kingdom rides. One of the rides is Charm. It is a new ride. Go really fast. You have to get on the app. If you don't press fast enough, you can't go on it. Glossary. This is an airplane. This is how you get to Disney. Here's a picture of Florida when Disney ordered this. About the author. My name is Bryce. I'm 7 years old. I go to Boyden Elementary School. I like to play soccer.
And thank you to Bryce, that was fantastic. Did we have any other first place winners who are interested in reading? Got a hand up, you wanna come up? Which category were you?
Middle school.
Oh, the test. All right, we've got Madeline Smith, who's gonna read her short story, The Test.
Okay class, Miss Chippen says, a little too peppy for a math exam at 8:25 in the morning. She weaves in and out between the rows of desks, heels clicking the ground in the offbeat of my new best friend, the classroom clock. When she finally gets to my desk, she places the test carefully. I pick up my pencil and go to start writing, but she stops me. I look up to see her glaring down at me. No funny business, Miss Stevens, she says coldly. Libby looks over at me. What was that about? She mouths. I roll my eyes and shrug. I honestly don't know, and quite frankly, I don't care. The tiny lady with paper-thin lips, colored an awful shade of pink, heads through the front of the classroom. With a stomp of her foot, the class goes silent for the first time. Everyone's looking directly in front of them. Thank you, Miss Chippen says, satisfied. As you all know, this is the final test of Unit 7. After a month of studying, I expect to see your work and formula. I also expect to see your full name, Andrew. The class laughs along with Andy himself, whose face is turning red. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he doesn't go by Andrew, he goes by Andy. Well, apparently not to Miss Annoying. I could not be more happy this is Unit 7, because that means it's May, which means the school year is about to end, which means no more Miss Chippens, which means happiness. Okay, well then, you have 30 minutes to complete it. Once the timer goes off, pencils down. Standard pretest words. Beep! The timer has started. The test has begun. Okay, name, Brooke Stevens. Date, May 6th. All right, let's see. Read the following questions and answer accordingly. Show all work. Easy, I mumble. Question 1. -3 plus 4.109 minus 5x plus 33x. Oh, Lord, some kid says. At least I'm not alone. Oh, I remember learning this. I do. It was Wednesday. No, Tuesday. It was really hot and stuffy in the room, and Derek was sitting in front of me. Ew, I remember. He was sweaty because he had just had gym, and he smelled. It was so distracting. Shoot, I don't know how to do this. I had a headache from the heat and could not focus. Okay, wait. First you add the numbers that are similar. So, -5x plus 33x. But what's next? 10 more minutes, students, Miss Chippen says. I am totally screwed. Angelina walks up to the teacher's desk and hands in the test. Great. Doesn't look like she's the only one. Almost the entire class hands in theirs too. It might have taken a little while, but I finished a question. I am so proud. Libby looks at me with a face full of disappointment. She asked if I wanted her to help me study, but I blew her off, and now I'm going to fail my test. Slowly but surely, I answer the next few questions. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. When, okay, you guys, pencils down, Miss Chippens walks to the front of the room to collect the rest of the papers. Here you go, Miss Chippens. She looks at me with a happy expression on. Let me just go back to my seat and hope this class ends soon. Miss Chippen glances at my test and back up at me. Miss Stevens, this test is incomplete. I'll see you after school. Boop, boop. My alarm clock? Brooke, make sure your lunch is ready for school today. That was rough. I haven't had a nightmare in a while. I'll text Libby to help me study tomorrow.
I don't know if we have anyone else. All right, I'm going to turn it back over to Claudia, our chair. No, I'm sorry, I'm turning over to Sarah. I apologize.
Thanks, Karen, and thanks to everyone that read. Congratulations to all of our winners tonight. It's wonderful to be able to recognize your work and to share it with the community, so thank you so much. I just have a few closing remarks. First, I want to thank all of the Walpole Cultural Council members for your hard work tonight. It was a really wonderful event, so thank you to all of you.
want to thank Bill Buckley and Carrie Denizio from the school committee for coming and sharing in this event and celebrating our winners. Thank you. Thank you to Walpole Media, who is recording this event. It will be available online for everyone to view soon. And I also want to thank our sponsors that made this event possible: Dedham Savings Bank, Sharon Credit Union, the Walpole Cooperative Bank, Trader Joe's, Big Y, and Fancy Pants Bakery. Please make sure you take some cookies home. We have a lot. And last, as we close out tonight, any of the winners still in the room, please do come up front. We're going to take a picture all together. Thank you all so much. Congratulations, and we hope to see you next year.